The interest in battery electric vehicles is slowly building in Australia. But battery power isn't the only alternative to petrol and diesel engines. This is the second generation Toyota Mirai, one of 2 hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles to arrive in Australia this year. Now, you're probably not going to see too many Mirais on the street, but Toyota believes that this is the future of mobility. Toyota will offer fuel cell electric vehicles alongside battery electric and hybrid vehicles, while petrol and diesel cars will have a place in the Australian lineup for a while yet. The only other brand in Australia to experiment with hydrogen passenger cars is Hyundai with its Nexo SUV. For now, just 20 examples of the Mirai are being offered to companies and organisations on a 36-month or 60,000 kilometre contract for $1,750 per month, which includes fuel. Toyota says the Mirai will be available to buy privately within 3 years, depending on how many refuelling stations are live. The only place to refuel at the moment in Victoria is Toyota's new hydrogen centre in Altona, but another station is planned at CSIRO's Clayton campus. Powering the Mirai is a fuel cell powertrain that includes a 330 cell fuel cell stack, 3 compressed hydrogen tanks, a lithium-ion battery and an electric motor. The fuel cell stack draws in air that's purified and where the oxygen combines with hydrogen in a chemical reaction to produce electrical energy. The energy is stored in either the battery or the motor, and the Mirai's only emission is water vapour. The hydrogen is stored in 3 carbon fibre reinforced plastic tanks, giving the Mirai a driving range of about 650 kilometres. That's more than most battery electric vehicles. Maximum power output is 134 kilowatts and it produces 300 newton meters of torque. The new Mirai is longer and wider than the previous model, but it sits lower to the ground. The packaging of hydrogen powertrain elements has severely impacted boot space, which at 272 litres is just 2 more litres than the Toyota Yaris light hatchback. The sleek and sporty design is more Lexus than Toyota and will likely hold more mainstream appeal than the oddly designed first-generation model. While the original Mirai could only seat 4 people, the new one is a 5-seater. Despite the futuristic tech powering the Mirai, the interior looks and feels a bit like a fancy Camry. The only giveaways that you're in an alternative fuel car are the dials and the information on the central screen that includes energy usage. Our time behind the wheel was brief, but the driving characteristics of the Mirai are very similar to that of a battery electric vehicle. After driving it back to back with the previous model, the new Mirai is more responsive and more dynamically capable than the original. It's incredibly quiet and has a composed ride around town. It could just as easily have a Lexus badge and you wouldn't blink an eye. There's nothing particularly wrong with the old Mirai, but this new generation car is so much more refined. Both the Toyota Mirai and the Hyundai Nexo are not being brought to Australia to top the sales charts. They're being introduced to highlight the potential of hydrogen in Australia. And we think if they can get the refuelling stations right here, then there's no reason that this sort of technology can't become mainstream. For more on the Toyota Mirai, head to racv.com.au.